Back alley rain, falling slow tonight. Street mist drifting through dim lamplight. Curb shine glowing beside empty bars. Gutter trickle whispering lonely rhythm. Old guitar crying through Smoky tavern. Puddle shimmer dancing beneath neon light. Street mist rapping quiet Chicago night. Back alley rain tapping wooden crates. Lonely man walking past closed taverns. Curb shine reflecting tired footsteps. Gutter trickle sliding under iron grates. Street mist breathing through dark alley. Bartender locking door after midnight. Back alley rain washing old brick walls. Puddle shimmer glowing near dim lamp. Curb shine resting beside silent street. Singer stepping outside for air. Street mist touching worn hat brim. Gutter trickle humming soft beneath boots. Back alley rain cooling whiskey breath. Night train rumbling somewhere distant. Puddle shimmer shaking in low thunder. Curb shine fading under passing cloud. Street mist drifting through alley mile. Broken neon buzzing above doorway. Back alley rain running down coat collar. Gutter trickle carrying lost cigarette. Puddle shimmer trembling under light. Across quiet blocks. Street mist lifting from empty pavement. Curb shine pale beneath gray sky. Back alley rain fading into dawn.
Lonely tavern breathing, slow midnight air. Long silence stretching across wooden tables. Night silence, sitting beside broken jukebox. Soft silence, resting in whiskey glass. Rain tapping softly outside tavern door. Deep silence, drifting through smoky room. Silence, leaning on empty stool. Long silence, watching tired bartender. Whoa, piano, standing silent in corner. Night silence, rapping slow around bar. Soft silence, hiding beneath dim lamps. Deep silence, holding every breath. Street lamp glowing through foggy windows. Wait in silence, moving through empty chairs. Long silence rising with fading music. Night silence, touching lonely hearts. Last customer staring at dark mirror. Soft silence falling between heavy sighs. Deep silence, breathing through broken dreams. Wait in silence near closing time. Bartender locking door beneath neon. Night silence spreading across quiet floor. Long silence sitting beside dusty bottles. Soft silence drifting through bars. Cold wind whispering and long empty street. Deep silence living in tired bones. Wait in silence, holding lonely thoughts. Night silence fading toward morning. Early sun touching cracked sidewalk outside. Long silence resting inside old tavern. Soft silence sleeping in wooden chairs. Deep silence ending another night. Lonely man walking on neon rain. Lonely wish hiding deep inside. Broken dream lying beside empty glass. Road dream calling from distance. Midnight city breathing smoky blues. Dark wish drifting through quiet mind. Last wish trembling on dry lips. Broken dream resting in heart. Cheap whiskey burning through tired throat. Road dreams shining past station lights. Lonely wish chasing moving trains. Dark wish whispering through smoke. Old suitcase leaning near bar stool. Broken dream folded in worn clothes. Last wish floating through sad song. Road dream living beyond town. stricken above wet pavement. Lonely wish wandering lonely miles. Dark wish hiding behind silence. Broken dream breathing slow tonight. Train whistle crying past river bridge. Road dream rising with steel echo. Last wish riding lonely wind. Broken dream watching from shadows. Night fading into pale blue dawn. Lonely wish sleeping tired heart. Dark wish drifting away slowly. Road dream waiting down the line. Morning sun touching silent tracks. Broken dream resting under sky. Last wish quiet beside hope. Lonely wish gone with night. Dark worker leaning on rusty crowbar. Great nails squealing under cold steel. Bored live groaning through heavy wood. Box lid rising slow from darkness. River fog drifting across freight yard. Crowbar biting deep beside crate and nail. Pride mark shining under lantern light. Board lift shaking tired hands. Lonely stevedore humming whiskey blues. Slow tonight. Crane nail bending under iron bar. Prime mark cutting to old timber. Night wind riding loose dock chain. Boy live rising from stubborn crate. Crowbar ringing sharp against wood. Box lid falling back with thud.
Harbor bell echo through quiet water. Primark deep along ship and crate. Crate nail dropping on the dock plank. Board lift free and hidden cargo. Moonlight spilling over stacked freight. Crowbar sliding through broken seam. Box lid leaning beside river wind. Primark marking long night word. Crate nail shining on wet board. Box lid closing slow again. Sun climbing red beyond warehouses. Crowbar resting near open crate. Primark fading on old wood. Board lift quiet in the morning. Dark lurk staring through tired eyes. Frayed leaves spread across wooden desks. Score beam balancing restless cargo. Weight hook swinging under lantern light. Cold wind drifting off dark river. Cargo list whispering numbers tonight. Low mark painted on heavy crates. Score beam trembling under burden. Night worker humming slow whiskey blue. Weight hook biting deep iron chain. Frayedless curling beneath damp air. Load marks shining through dim light. River bell echoing past silent dark. Cargo list counting every lonely box. Scar beam rising slow again. Weight hook pulling stubborn freight. Dust settling across ledger board. Freight list guiding patient hands. Load marks scratched across rough timber. Steady through quiet shift. Morning fog crawling over river. Cargo list closing near final line. Weight hook lowering heavy steel. Load mark fading beneath grind. Dark whistle blowing tired goodbye. Freight list folding inside cold. Scale beam empty after a long night. Weight hook resting against wall. Sunlight breaking through warehouse house doors, cargo list sleeping on old desks, road marked dull on silent graves, scale beam quiet for morning. Kettle rattle shaking quiet kitchen tonight, lit dance jumping on board new pie, pot ring shining on old stove plate, pan scrape echoing across iron surface, grease pop snapping sharp through silence, kettle rattle singing tired house tune, pan scrape dragging slow through skillet, lid dance, tapping restless metal rhythm, hot ring glowing dull beneath firelight, grease pop flying from frying meat, pan scrape turning food through hot iron, kettle rattle rocking on bird, lid dance spinning wild above stew, pot ring marking old cooktop scar, pop leaping in the smoky air, hand scrape rough and steady, hands on. Kettle rattle fading with boiling steam, pop slowing in quiet skillet, pot ring dark under dim linen, lid dance soft on cooling pot, pan scrape resting beside stove edge, grease pop quiet in cold grease, kettle rattle sleeping in corner, pot ring pale beneath dust nun, lid dance gone from silent kitchen, pan scrape leaning against wall hook, grease pop memory in empty room now, kettle rattle still in morning calm, pot ring waiting for another meal now, pan scrape ready in a warm drawer, lid dance quiet beneath sunrise eye, grease pop dreaming in cold. Whiskey bar under single hanging lamp, dim glow spreading across dusty counter, lamp hum buzzing soft like slow blues, warm circle
shining on amber glass. Bartender pouring slow brown whiskey tonight. Flame ring dancing inside glass chimney. Soot rim dark against pale yellow light. Dim glow touching tired faces. Lonely singer leaning near bar piano. Lamp hum humming along with melody. Warm circle resting on one table. Flame ring trembling in quiet air. Night rain shining outside tavern window. Dim glow soft on cracked wooden walls. Soot rim catching drifting cigarette smoke. Lamp hum steady through midnight. Broke traveler warming hands by light. Warm circle holding small peace tonight. Flame ring flickering in restless breeze. Dim glow fading near closing hour. Old jukebox silent beside the bar. Lamp on filling the empty room. Soot rim black against fading flame. Warm circle shrinking on counter. Bartender stacking glasses in silence. Dim glow resting over lonely stool. Flame ring small inside tired lamp. Lamp hum soft beneath night. Morning light creeping through dusty window. Warm circle gone from wooden counter. Soot rim cold on glass chimney. Dim glow fading into daylight. Lonely man folding midnight confession. Envelope flap closing slow tonight. Glue strip tasting bitter regret. Letter crease running through paper. Whiskey glass sweating on wooden desk. Stamp mark pressing down final word. Envelope flap hiding broken promise. Wax seal glowing under lamp.
Rain sliding across window glass, letter crease cutting through memory. Glue strip sealing restless truth. Stamp mark waiting near corner. Old blues record spinning soft tonight. Envelope flap trembling in hand. Wax seal melting with candle flame. Letter crease holding silent sorrow. Slow regret, stamp mark landing with heavy hand. Glue strip sealing lost love. Envelope flap closing quiet hole. Dawn light creeping across table. Letter crease sharp through white page. Wax seal cooling in a red stone. Stamp mark shining under sun. Lonely footsteps leaving empty room. Envelope flap resting near bottle. Glue strip dry beneath morning air. Letter crease hiding trembling word. Depot bell ringing far away. Stamp mark ready for long travel. Wax seal holding broken story. Envelope flap carrying lonely blue. Lonely man staring past whiskey glass. Dark thought drifting across his eyes. Long memory waking dusty ears. Old story rising from deep heart. Rain falling soft on empty street. Road tail whispering through smoky air. Night tail curling around tired mind. Long memory heavy like stone. Old guitar leaning beside bar stool. Dark thought walking silent corridors. Old story living in cracked voice. Night tail humming low blues. Train whistle crying far away. Road tail echoing through broken dreams. Long memory shining like dim lamp. Dark thought waiting in shadow. Bartender pouring slow amber whiskey. Old story rolling from tired tongue. Night tail floating above piano. Long memory burning deep inside. Cold wind pushing through alley door. Road tail stretching beyond the city. Dark thought hiding behind silence. Old story walking lonely miles. Last cigarette glowing red tonight. Night tail drifting through quiet room. Long memory clinging to midnight. Road tail fading in smoke. Morning light touching empty bar. Old story resting beside glass. Dark thoughts slipping into silence. Long memory sleeping at dawn. Storefront glow, shining across empty sidewalk. Window reflection holding lonely figure. Glass shimmer dancing under neon buzz. Faded sign swaying above doorway. Late night diner humming quiet blue. Painted sign glowing red and yellow. Storefront glow warming tired travelers. Window reflection showing sleepless eyes. Rain sliding down dark display glass. Glass shimmer bending broken street light. Faded sign whispering through night wind. Storefront glow resting on wet pavement. Blue single leaning near diner counter. Window reflection watching silent street. Painted sign flickering tired color. Glass shimmer trembling beneath rain. Lonely couple passing under neon. Storefront glow touching tired faces. Faded sign creaking above narrow door. Window reflection fading in mist. Midnight truck rolling past corner store. Glass shimmer shaking with engine rumble. Painted signs shining through fog. Storefront glow steady through darkness. Old bartender smoking near entrance. Window reflection floating in glass. Faded sign humming in cold wind. Glass shimmer fading slow tonight. Morning sun breaking through city hate, storefront glow gone from quiet street, painted sign go beneath daylight, window reflection lost in brightness. Tin ceiling rattles in the heat, smoke veil hanging thick and sweet, bar shadows stretching long and tall, bourbon trail down the wall, tavern hush before the fight, neon buzzing in the night, boot heels scrape the wood, no good. Tin ceiling sweating brown, smoke veil drifting down, bar shadow hides my face, bourbon trail leaves a trace, tavern hush after the bell, stories nobody tell, ashtray full and white, trouble inside. Tin ceiling hums low, smoke veil slow, bar shadow near the door, bourbon trail on the floor, tavern hush near closing time, piano missing a rhyme, glass clinks one last round, hollow sound. Ceiling fading gray, smoke veil drifting away, bar shadow thin and small, bourbon trail crawl, tavern hush at break of dawn, tin ceiling worn, smoke veil gone from sight, bar shadow light. Hot sauce drips across a tin plate, coffee tin sits by the window gate, ground scoop rests on a wooden shelf, percolator lid rattles with morning self. Tin plate warms from the stove's heat, hot sauce stains where flavors meet, coffee tin holds the roasted ground, ground scoop scoops without a sound, percolator lid shakes as water boil. Hot sauce drips near the skillet oils. Tin plate empty from last night's meal. Coffee tin filled with morning zeal. Ground scoop scratches a worn countertop. Percolator lid hums as the rhythms drop. Hot sauce lingers with a fiery sting. Tin plate waits for what breakfast brings. Coffee tin cracked by daily use. Ground scoop full of bitter juice. Percolator lid rattles beside the pan. Hot sauce sits untouched in the can. Tin plate echoes in early light. Coffee tin hums from the stove bright. Ground scoop falls with a muted clink. Percolator lid rocks, no one to drink. Hot sauce spills by the windowsill. Tin plate empty on the windowsill. Coffee tin waits for boiling stream. Ground scoop dances with morning gleam. Lifts the steam climbs high. Hot sauce stains where my fingers lie. Tin plate cold beside the table edge. Coffee tin gone. The morning pledge.
Brass valve shining me, factory lamp. Valve turn echoing through the iron hallway. Pilot flame burning small and steady. Copper pipe bending along brick wall. Steam valve hissing deep, midnight warning. Brass valve warm beneath worker hands. Valve turns slow through heavy pressure. Pilot flame glowing beneath steel cap. Copper pipe humming quiet iron song. Steam valve breathing wide cloudy breath. Brass valve rattling beside old gate. Valve turn grinding under tired grip. Pilot flame flickering against greasy wall. Copper pipe glowing faint orange heat. Steam valve singing low factory blues. Brass valve resting between creaking dusty rafters above. Copper pipes wet and warm droplets. Brass valve turning slow like prayer. Valve turn easing iron pressure down. Pilot flame light a narrow basement room. Copper pipe twisting along dark ceiling. Steam valve groaning before sunrise out. Brass valve cooling in morning air. Valve turns silent beside rust pipe. Pilot flame shrinking small and blue. Copper pipe quiet under gray daylight. Steam valve resting after heavy night. Brass valve cold beside iron wheel. Pilot flame on morning shift.
Barn beam heavy above, quiet stable. Loft roll swinging slow in dim light. Leather rug smooth from years climbing. Stair rail polished by tired hands. Floor not dark in old pine board. Barn beam creaking in prairie wind. Love rope swaying beside hayloft. Let her run, tapping gentle rhythm. Stair rail warm beneath lantern glow. Floor not catching drifting straw dust. Barn beam shadow stretching long tonight. Love rope hanging silent and still. Let her run warm from farmer booth. Stair rail steady long narrow stairs. Barn beam groaning through cold night. Floor not rough beneath bare feet. Love road pulled by steady hands. Let her run shining in moonlight glow. Barn beam strong through winter storm. Stair rail cool and quiet hall. Floor not holding story here. Barn beam dark and early dawn. Love road loose beside wooden hook. Let her run silent at the shore. Dusty palm, floor not pale under morning sun. Barn beam calm above empty stall. Loft progressing against wall. Let her run, waiting for next climb. Stair rail shining faint in daylight. Barn beam steady through passing time. Floor not quiet in old floor. around a lonely midnight fire. Chimney soot falling soft through warm air. Blue draft pulling smoke through crooked pipe. Ember drift floating slow above ashes. Crackle snap breaking quiet kitchen silence tonight. Hard brick warm beneath tired boots. Chimney soot marking dark ceiling corner. Flue draft whispering low winter song. Ember drift shining red in darkness. Ember drift shining red in darkness. Crackle snap jumping from burning oak. Heartbreaker holding heat through cold night. Flue draft breathing deep through chimney. Chimney soot drifting across wooden mantle. Ember drift fading slow near ash bed. Crackle snap echoing through quiet room. Heartbreak steady beneath the iron gray. Flue draft humming through long pipe tonight. Ember drift glowing like tired heart. Chimney soot black against pale plaster. Crackle snap soft like broken laughter. Heartbreak cooling after long evening. Flue draft slowing in an empty house. Ember drift dim beneath gray ash. Crackle snap gone from dying flame. Heartbreak dark beneath fading glow. Ember drift turning slow black dust. Flue draft whispering final breath. Chimney soot resting on cold stone. Heartbreak quiet before sunrise. Flue draft still in morning air. Ember drift sleeping in ash. Old house standing beside quiet road. Porch boy singing under slow blues. Porch rail cold beneath tied hands. Porch Creek echoing through warm night. Lonely man sitting after a long shift. Steps scar marking dusty wood grain. Porch board shining under dim board. Stoop edge catching drifting shadows. Summer breeze moving across quiet street. Porch rail holding leaning shoulders. Porch Creek answering every movement. Step scuff tracing restless pacing. Distant blues drifting from tavern radio. Porch board humming gentle rhythm. Stoop edge glowing beat moonlight. Porch rail resting beside silent man. Night insects singing soft outside. Porch Creek speaking old wooden language. Steps go fading in patient silence. Porch board warm under bare feet. Tired worker staring past dark fields. Stoop edge catching falling cigarette ash. Porch rail steady beneath slow breath. Porch Creek whispering lonely song. Early breeze touching sleepy town. Step scuff marking last midnight walk. Porch board pale and rising dawn. Porch rail quiet under gray sky. Sun climbing above distant rooftops. Porch Creek silent after a long night. Stoop edge warm beneath morning light. Porch board waiting another evening. Going walking down Chicago alley, slow sorrow rattle on me blues notes, low sorrow, living in tired voice, soft sorrow, drifting through smoke. Midnight whiskey, blowing amber gold, bitter sorrow, burning deep inside, late sorrow, knocking on old heart, slow sorrow, breathing through silence. Streetcar rumbling through wet pavement, low sorrow, following restless steps, soft sorrow hiding beneath tired smile, late sorrow rising with night. Oh, jukebox humming, crack blues record, soft sorrow turning dust to memories, bitter sorrow living in every chord, low sorrow filling empty room. Staring past ball mirror, soft sorrow moving through his thoughts, late sorrow walking beside whiskey, slow sorrow steadily like rain. Dark clouds rolling over city lights, late sorrow reaching broken dreams, slow sorrow heavy on shoulders, bitter sorrow lingering in heart. Morning breeze touching silent streets, low sorrow sleeping in tired bones, soft sorrow gone with fading night, late sorrow lingering in heart. One tone riding through battered amplifier, smoky tone floating over whiskey glasses, raw edge glide and slow guitar rhythm. Sweet glide, drifting from bent strings. Weary draw, falling through barroom silence. Warm tone, humming inside wooden stage. Smoky tone, wrapping dancers in velvet. Raw head, scratching dusty speaker cone. Sweet glide, bending over smoky trumpet. Weary draw, shaking the jukebox corn. Warm tone, melting in the midnight zone. Smoky tone, filling cracked brick walls. Well, raw is ringing across crowded tables. Sweet light sliding along steel strings. Weary draw, pulling hearts towards stage. Warm tone glowing beneath yellow spotlight. Smoky tone, floating over empty stools. Raw edge cutting through low piano. Sweet glide, weaving round bass rhythm. Weary draw echoing through ceiling beams. Warm tone, warm and cold in a crowd. Smoky tone, drifting beneath flickering neon. Raw edge, scratching stubborn heartbreak blues. Sweet glide, rolling through midnight chorus. Weary draw, rising with bourbon breath. Warm tone, humming through tube amplifier. Smoky tone, falling over slow dancers. Raw edge crackling beside snare brush. Sweet glide, fading after final chord. Weary draw, whispering through quiet room. Warm tone resting inside silent air. Smoky tone sleeping beneath club lights. creaking slow in morning gold. Stargate shaking under restless horse tonight. Feet sack leaning near dusty barn wall. Old sack smelling sweet and quiet stable. Grain scoop dipping deep into old sack. Stable door swinging wide in sunrise light. Feed sack resting beside wooden barrel. Stargate rattling with impatient hooves. Old sack splitting loose dusty grain tonight. Grain scoop scraping bottom of barrel. Stable door banging in prairie wind. Feed sack slumping beside tired farmer. Stargate groaning through rusty hinge. Old sack stacked beside crooked beam. Grain scoop shining door beneath lantern. Feed sack patched with rough thread. Sunset, Stargate quiet and cool in air. Feed sack folded near empty drawer. Grain scoop hanging beside nail. Old sack pale beneath moonlight tonight. Stable door whispering old barn song. Stargate still after a long day. Feed sack soft against wooden posts. Grain scoop resting after feeding time. Old sack half empty beside barrel. Stable door breathing cold night wind. Stargate silent under stars. Feed sack waiting for another dawn. Grain scoop cold beside wooden wall. Old sack sleeping in quiet barn. Stable door closed on farm. Cold morning hanging over rail platform. Old baggage trunk resting near iron track. Tag string fluttering in lake wind tonight. Sharp tag marking distant southern town. Porter bending beside heavy luggage. Trunk lock shining door under deep old land. Strap buckle clinking against the worn leather. Tag string twisting through rough fingers. Train breathing smoke through dark. Baggage trunk waiting beside wooden cart. Chalk tag fading from yesterday rain.
strap buckle stiff from long travel. Lonely whistle echoing through rail yard. Tag strings snapping in cold wind. Trunk lock holding secrets inside. Baggage trunks smelling of distant roads. Depot light flickering above quiet platform. Strap buckle ringing like small bell. Chalk tag scratching pale numbers. Tag string tied by hurried hands. Wiping sweat from brow. Baggage truck sliding along iron rail. Trunk lock catching lantern glow. Strap buckle scraping wooden boards. Dawn breaking gray across the rail yard. Chalk tag barely seat on corner. Tag string hanging loose from handle. Baggage trunks resting after night journey. Morning whistle calling another train. Trunk lock quiet beneath tire dust. Strap buckle cold in sunrise air. Baggage trunk waiting for next road. Slow blues, broken promise hanging in his voice. Sweet promise whispered long ago. False promise hiding in smile. Red neon shining through rainy glass. Bitter promise echoing down the bar. Last promise trembling on old lips. Broken promise haunting midnight. City girl leaving with stranger man. Sweet promise fading in the darkness. False promise drifting through smoke. Bitter promise heavy in chest. Empty chair beside tired piano. Last promise ringing in lonely chord. Broken promise echoing through promise lost in night. Old bartender shaking his gray head, false promise floating over whiskey, bitter promise deep in memory, broken promise turning slow. Streetcar rumbling past wet pavement, sweet promise drifting through rain, last promise burning like coal, broken promise walking alone. Trembling in silence, morning coming pale and quiet, broken promise sleeping in heart, sweet promise gone with the night, bitter promise staying behind. Lonely diner glowing under blue neon, cup rim warm against sleepless lips, spoon ring tapping slow counter rhythm, mug handle steady in working hands, night train echo rolling through town, saucer mark circling chip white plate, serve jar shining beside sugar tin, cup rim stained from bitter coffee. Street rain sliding down a window, mug handle turning through restless fingers, spoon ring soft like tide music, saucer mark pale beneath coffee cup, late waitress humming low sad tune, cup rim catching dim counter light, serve jar sticky from pancake morning, mug handle warm and quiet blue, steel mill whistle fading through fog, spoon ring answering lonely heartbeat, saucer mark resting on warm counter, cup rim cold beneath empty sill.
workers filling corner stools, mug handle clinking against thick mud, syrup jar glowing in yellow light, spoon ring tapping morning rhythm, broken jukebox whispering slow blues, cup rim trembling with last coffee, saucer mark sliding across count, mug handle waiting for another pour. Sunlight creeping through dusty glass, syrup jar quiet after breakfast rush, cup rim dry beside folded paper, spoon ring silent in empty diner.
Lonely diner glowing on the yellow light, counter bell waiting beside coffee pot, bell tap echoing across empty stool, service call drifting through tired room, truck driver leaning against warm counter, order slip trembling in a waitress' hand. Bell ring sharp through morning quiet, counter bell shining dull chrome. Rain beating hard against window glass, service call rising above kitchen noise, bell tap calling late night coffee, order slip covered with greasy ink, broken jukebox humming distant blues, counter bell resting near a sugar jar, bell ring cutting through smoky air, service call chasing sleepy cook, midnight worker dragging heavy boots, order slip sliding across steel rail, bell tap soft like tired heartbeat, counter bell lonely on counter. Early dawn touching cracked tiles, bell ring greeting morning truckers, service call rolling through diner door, order slip filled with bacon orders, waitress sign beside empty booth, counter bell silent between customers, bell tap fading with coffee steam, order slip folded in apron. Sun climbing over quiet highway, service call gone with breakfast crowd, bell ring memory and diner air, counter bell everlasting through noon.
Late night clerk bending over ledger page, yellow lamp shaking over margin line, cold whiskey breath counting number row, lonely tally mark growing tonight, train whistle crying beyond depot wall, dayline written with shaking hands, dust drifting slowly across ledger page, tired eyes falling number row. Bottle empty beside ink bottle tonight, margin line guiding crooked writing, old tally mark filling silent book, dateline waiting for morning train. Rain tapping roof above depot office, number rows stretching like a long highway, ledger page smelling of ink tonight, marking line holding restless numbers, night clerk humming low blues tune, dateline drifting toward tomorrow, tally mark rising like lonely heartbeat, number row marching across paper, broken radio whispering muddy blues, ledger page curling under dim lamp, margin line steady through shaking hand, tally mark counting freight tonight. Morning fog creeping near depot door, dayline marking another hard shift, number row ending slow and tight, ledger page closing with quiet sigh, sun climbing pale above rail yard, margin line fading in daylight glow, tally mark resting after long night, ledger page sleeping on wooden desk.
Hay bale stacked high beside barn wall, bale twine biting tight around dry straw, straw dust floating through golden sunset, pitchfork time shining sharp in the land of light, fork stabbed deep in a heavy hay bale, straw dust dancing slow through a warm air, bale twine rough against calloused hands, pitchfork time ringing soft metal note. Hay bale falling from wagon board tonight, fork stab lifting straw in the loft, straw dust coat an old denim shirt, bale twine snapping under heavy load, pitchfork time scraping rough wooden beam, hay bale leaning beside dark corner, fork stab echoing through quiet barn, straw dust drifting through evening light. Bale twine tied tight with steady hands, hay bale smelling sweet and dry, pitchfork time resting near barn door, straw dust soft beneath warm boots, fork stab quick beneath tight arms, hay bale shifting slow on wagon, bale twine cutting through rough fingers, straw dust glowing in lantern haze. Pitchfork time quiet against the wall, hay bale sleeping in shadow barn, straw dust settling across floor, bale twine hanging from a rusty nail, fork stab done for the long night, hay bale still beneath silent rafters, straw dust pale in morning light, yeah, pitchfork time cold beside door. Heavy mail sack cord cutting through tired fingers, depot cord rattling along platform boards, cord tight against the morning chill. Cold fog wrapping sleepy rail town,
sack swinging from bent shoulders, depot cart squeaking through iron rails, cord tie biting rough canvas. Night train fading into distance, sack drop heavy on wooden dock, mail sack breathing dust and letters, sack cord twisting round now, whiskey bottle warm in coat pocket, depot cart waiting beside track, cord tie stubborn on thick sack, mail sack full of faraway words. Lonely worker under depot lamp, sack drop shaking quiet platform, mail sack smelling of long roads, sack cord rubbing rough palms, morning whistle blowing across yard, depot car rolling slow downhill, cord tie loosened by cold fingers, mail sack leaning near rail, sunlight touching steel tracks gently, sack drop finished for the ship, depot cart empty beside station, sack cord hanging from hood. Mail sack resting by depot wall, cord tie quiet in sunrise glow, depot car silent on platform. Silent on platform.
Cold kitchen holding lonely midnight hunger, stew scent drifting slow through wooden room, broad steam rising from tired iron pipe, ladle dip turning thick country supper, rain tapping soft outside broken window, ladle drip falling steady in silence, bowl rim waiting beside rough table, broad steam warming cold empty hands, humming bed staring at flicker firelight, stew scent wrapping dark quiet house, searching bottom of kettle, bowl rim shining dull underlay. Old radio humming far hallway blues, broad steam climbing toward cracked rafters, ladle drip mocking patient kitchen rhythm, stew scent sweet with onion tonight. Tired worker home from steelyard shift, bowl rim resting near folded coat, ladle dip heavy with slow supper, brow steam soft across a weary face. Scraping into supper, bowl rim empty beside tired hands, rusting gone from cooling stove, stew and memory in silent room.
Coat patch hanging on jacket, elbow patch rubbing against bark hound, frayed cuff touching half-empty glass, shirt collar loose beneath neon light, sweatband dark under dusty hat, cold rain falling across night street, cheap whiskey burn through empty stomach, lonely man watching strangers dance. Coat patch stitched by old lover, elbow patch faded after factory years, frayed cuff brushing cracked wooden table, shirt collar smelling like last night, sweatband dripping through summer heat, street band playing slow Chicago blues, coins rattling inside empty pockets, broken dream drifting through Smoky bar. Patch leaning against brick walls, frayed cuff holding last cigarette, shirt collar open to midnight air, sweatband heavy after long shift, tired worker walking through dim alley, rainwater shining under street lamp glow, lonely footsteps echo between buildings.
Cold patch dark under yellow light, elbow patch resting beside a whiskey bottle, Fred cuff tapping quiet table rhythm, shirt collar wrinkled from sleepless night, sweatband cold in the early morning, cold patch fading under gray dawn, elbow patch brushing lonely doorway, Fred cuff waving goodbye tonight. Late night walking down Tar Street alone, cross street empty beneath cold neon, iron drain whispering under steady rain, metal grate shining beneath tired boots, old taxi rolling through wet pavement, sewer grate breathing quiet city steam, Tar Street glowing beneath street lamp halo, cross street silent beyond corner bar, lonely trumpet crying through smoky window, iron drain catching restless raindrops, metal grater humming beneath passing wheels, Tar Street stretching through midnight block, bartender watching from dim doorway, cross street drifting under nightfall, sewer grate sign with deep breath, Tar Street shining like black glass. Drunk strangers stumbling near alley mile, metal grate clanging beneath careless step, iron drain swallowing city rainwater, cross street holding silent shadows, blues singer walking slow after closing, Tar Street echoing lonely footsteps, sewer grate whispering through steam clouds, cross street fading behind him, freight truck rumbling through dark avenue, metal grate rattling beneath heavy wheels, iron drain catching dripping gutter flow, Tar Street trembling under engine roar, early dawn touching quiet sidewalks, cross street waking beneath pale light, sewer grate breathing final night steam, Tar Street drying in morning wind.
City girl leaning beside jukebox light, crooked smile playing across red lips, quick wink flashing through smoky air, side look catching lonely man, whiskey glasses shining on counter, tight smile hiding secret thoughts, cold grin cutting through dim neon, crooked smile promising midnight trouble, blues band rolling deep slow rhythm, quick wink falling toward wandering heart, side look dancing through crowded bar, tight smile soft beneath shadows. Lonely traveler watching silent game, cold grin floating above empty glass, crooked smile turning restless heads, quick wink light in dark room, neon buzzing above crooked doorway, side look drifting through smoke clouds, tight smile fading with last drink, cold grin shining like night, bartender laughing under low lamp, crooked smile lingering near doorway, quick wink passing like quick spark, side look whispering silent promise, street rain washing neon colors, tight smile trembling near goodbye, cold grin hiding broken plans, crooked smile walking in the night, morning silence over empty tavern, side look gone with fading footsteps, quick wing memory in bar light, crooked smile lost in smoke.